Hey everybody. It's hump day. Hump day. And for some of us that work, hump day is the middle of our work week. And for some of y'all, hump day is literal. I'm going to talk about something that's been weighing on my spirit a little bit, and that's making yourself too available for people when they don't do it for you. And when do you realize you out the loop of your friend group? Because that's how I'm feeling, right? So we got a little couple, a little trio couple thing, and we used to do things together, and everybody knew about everybody's plans. And when they made plans, we was always like in the loop about it. And then these two couples, when one was living in Jersey already and the other one moved to Jersey, and it just seems like now it's a couple and not a throuple anymore because we stayed in New York and we always the last to know, or no, the last to know, and we're never invited. So I'm starting to, and then when they put out something, oh, let's do this, we're always available to go. My family, my husband and I, we always go. Even when we had little babies, we would go. So, now when I just realize, like, every time we try to do something or plan something, they always booked and busy. And then I'm like, my mama told me something when I was in a relationship, when I was dating. And I think this is applicable even if it's not a romantic relationship, is don't make yourself too available. And that's what I'm going to start doing. Because me and my husband and my kids, we don't really do, we do things. We're very local. And a lot of it is due to me and my husband have two different jobs with two different schedules. We don't get the same days off. Our kids' school days off don't follow my school days off. So it's really hard for us to say, oh, okay, we're just going to hop on plan a trip to go to Florida for a week or what have you, because our dates don't align. So it's really hard, and I don't want to pull them out of school and stuff like that. It's just really hard. And then also, my kids are still very young for them to really enjoy a destination vacation. It's basically taking them to another state. They're not really enjoying it. Like, we took them to DC on a whim. Let's just go. And they had the most fun running around in the field in front of the African American History Museum. Actually, being in the museum, they wasn't able to really take in anything. And after an hour, they were hungry and ready to go. They didn't care about looking at the artifacts or yada, yada, yada. They're still too young. So a vacation for us, for them, would be like taking them to Legoland or some kind of theme park, which doesn't really require transportation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could go to Legoland, that's in Goshen. We could go to Six Flags, that's in Jersey. Very local stuff, which doesn't necessarily mean we paying $2,000 to hop on a plane to go to Florida just to go to an amusement park. So I think that's, so we're not really planning things, and we're probably just gonna, save the money and wait for them to really be able to absorb and take in the experience. So there's nothing for us that we have planned that we can invite the other couples to, except for camping. So it used to be an annual trip, and we stopped a couple years because of COVID. And then this past fall season, we did camping. So it just seems like camping, they come through for that. But anything that we're planning on doing, it's a no. So for my husband's 40th birthday party, I had put together this whole thing. It was supposed to be a sleepover. It was supposed to be like an adult sleepover. We were supposed to get drunk, play games. I bought went out and spent hundreds of dollars on a fire pit and beds and buying furniture for the guest room and yada, yada, yada. And it just fell through. Like everybody was like, oh, we can't do it. We don't have a sitter for the dog, da, 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 da. So I ended up canceling the whole thing. But they ended up showing up anyway, and it was a really nice time. But that just seems to be the thing when we're planning something. So, but like if it's the kids' birthdays, they'll come through, stuff like that. But if we're planning like a barbecue or whatever, they stay booked and busy, which is fine. I'm just saying, if that's how it's going to be, if that's how our relationship is, if you planning cruises and all this stuff and you don't tell us about it, or you planning trips to Vegas and you don't tell us about it, when before you would plan a trip to Vegas and we went, they planned a trip to Vegas, me and my husband went, that was before kids. Their family member was having a cruise, we went. Like, we're always like, you're down to do something and we go. And it's not necessarily my husband, that's just how I am. That's me, my personality. Like, I like to be there for people. And I think that's why my friend group is non-existent, because it's always one-sided to me. It just feels that. And not at fault of the other person, because I don't have any expectations. I just feel like I'm giving 80% and they only giving 20. But I didn't ask them to give 80. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expressing this. I just realized that that's just how some people are. Like the couples, they would go to Atlantic City together. And maybe it's because they both live in Jersey and they're like really close to each other as far as location. And they just have immediate access to each other. So they would talk. I guess it's location based. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it, and I probably will not, because it's not a thing that needs to be rectified. To me, I like to live my life with, it is what it is, and that's all that it is. When I was mid-20s, late 20s, I saved myself a lot of angst by basically following that mantra. It is what it is, and that's all that it is. Everything that is an ick to me doesn't need to be corrected. I just need to know how to live by the serenity prayer, right? I'm not religious, but words hold power. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, yada, yada, yada. That, it is what it is. And this is not like a dig at them or anything. It is me acknowledging what it is and accepting what it is. I have two choices: completely disengage myself and my family from them, or accept it. And to me, it's not that serious. Now I know what it is. And don't make yourself available. Like, sometimes it was hard for me to adjust things that we had. Like, I've canceled stuff because they said, oh, we're going to do a food truck thing. I have canceled stuff to go. And I realized they don't cancel stuff for us. So I'm not doing that. Like I told my mother, oh, I'll take you to do this on a Saturday or whatever. And they said, oh, we're going to go see food trucks. And I'm like, Mom, let's do it on Sunday. I'm going to go to the food truck. Or I've asked my mom to watch my kids while we could go hang out when it wasn't in my plans. And my mother's like, oh, I was planning on doing this, but I'll reschedule. But I realize they don't do that for us. If they book, they booked. That's what they're doing. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to... No, I have accepted it. I'm just, this is content, right? And maybe it can help other people, because I know I'm not the only one. We're not the only ones dealing with that. Like, you're always available. And when it's time for you to do something that you would like them to take a part in, they're never available, but you're always there for them. And that's probably most relationships. So I'm saying, like, it's not grounds to completely remove yourself or even feel any kind of negative feelings. Just accept that is the dynamic of your relationship, and you live your life accordingly. Like, I have a very strong, and I probably get this from my mother, I have a very strong feeling about disappointing people. I don't like to disappoint people. And if I tell you I'm going to do something or I'm going to be there, like, nothing can keep me from being there. Like, if you invite me to your wedding and I say I'm going, I could be on my deathbed. I'm discharging myself and I'm going to your wedding. That's just me. That's how I am. And I know for a fact that trait I inherited from my mother. My mother says she's going to be somewhere, she's going to be there. And I'm the same way. And also, I feel like if you invite me somewhere and it's really not a big deal, it's not life or or death, I value our friendship to that level where I'm going to be there for you. You want to do something, you invited me, obviously you want me to go, I'm going to go. I will rearrange my schedule for you because that's how high I put my friendships up there. And that's probably because I'm the only child. These people ain't the only child. They got siblings. I'm the only one that's the only child. So to me, friendships are more than just friendships. They're borderline family. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm realizing now as I speak that this to me might not be the definition of a friendship. This is an acquaintanceship. And that's cool. That's cool because I know how to I characterize people in my life. I have to. Everybody don't deserve the same level of treatment. Like I have work acquaintances, work friends, where they talk to me about their family or whatever. So work friends, work acquaintances. At my old job, I had a work husband, stuff like that. So this, as to me, started as a friendship because we did a lot of things together and we were invited to things and we would go and yada, yada, yada. And now it has, I don't want to say downgraded. Life has made it change to an acquaintanceship, at least for us. I still think that the two couples that live in Jersey have a friendship because obviously they have a group chat that we're not in, or they have conversations that we're not in because they know about each other's vacation schedules and me and my husband don't know. So obviously we're not in the loop. So I think they legitimately have a friendship and my husband and I, we're their acquaintances. And that's how I'm just going to treat it. Until I'm shown different, but I doubt it. It's been like this for a couple years. So, it is what it is. That's my thing. That's my advice is to don't take it personal. Life gets in the way, people change, people definition of what you are to them in their lives change. And it's just a way to accept it, adjust your life, maybe expand your circle. Like I said in my other video, I'm looking for recreational white friends. I don't want a white acquaintance. I want a white friend because I like diversity. I do. I do. I don't want to be in a community where everybody thinks like me, looks like me. This is why I'm hesitant to leave New York. And this is why I was hesitant to move too much upstate because I didn't want too much of one thing. And when you start going into towns and villages upstate, it starts to be mono. They all tend to be the same. So I still want to, the city I live in, we got black, whites, Asians. They all live there. It's not as diverse as New York City. I think we got the primary colors of, of races. I don't think we got everything, you know what I mean? But you walking down the street, you see Asian people jogging and doing their exercises in the park. You see white people walking, tending to their gardens and flowers. And you see black people having a backyard, very nice backyard celebrations. Black people, we like barbecues. And in the four houses where our backyards meet, like they're separated, but our backyards, it's Spanish next to us. It's my family. We're interracial. Behind the Spanish house, there's white. And next door, they're Asian. I don't know what type of Asian. I haven't talked to them, but they're not Indian. They're either of Chinese, Japanese, whatever. They're Asian. So I love it. I love it. Like summertime comes, I smell all kind of food. The house that's not right behind me, they're Jamaican. They're definitely Jamaican. So jerk chicken season come along. So I'm all about the diversity. So I'm looking for some recreational white friends. I don't know where to find them. I think I'm going to take my own advice that I put into the community section and start going to the rugby games. I think I'm going to start going to the rugby games. I think the tickets are only $15. And I heard it's a hell of a good time. So I think that's what me and my husband is going to do. On a Sunday, we'll have them hang out with my mom, and then we'll go support local, and we'll go to a rugby game. And my husband, is very friendly in the face, and people, chat him up and start conversations with him. And I think that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to just start going to the rugby games. I never seen a rugby game, so is it kid friendly? Somebody tell me. Is it something I should bring the kids to, or is it no? Let me know. Have you ever been to a rugby game? I didn't even know New York had a rugby team. I think they're called the Iron Workers or something like that. But anyway, that's a little something we're going to do. And then I'm also part of a Facebook group with a woman who's, her name is Jaya the Giant, Jia. She's really cool. She's also in an interracial relationship. Her husband is Spanish. She's Black. But she does local things, like in Brooklyn. Like she'll be at this beauty. She'll have meet and greets at a salon where you can greet other people in the group, and she's supporting a local business by having it at the salon or whatever. And last time she had it at a small kind of lounge thing in Brooklyn. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to expound on my circle. I don't think I could really have outside of the job relationships for people at my job. I just don't think. One, there's big age differences. Like these women are much older. Their children are my age. So I don't think that's going to work. They're not in my age range. They're more maternal, and that's cool too. So yeah, we're going to start doing more things. My kids are old enough now to be left with someone, and their care is minimal. So that was a thing for us, leaving babies with somebody, having somebody take care of two babies that were fully dependent, not potty trained, to me was mean. So we didn't really do anything and hand up. But the kids are 4. They're pretty much potty trained. They can take off their clothes and put on pajamas and somewhat brush their own teeth. You got to go after them and get the back teeth. But their care is minimum. They could sit and play and draw and color and be good company to somebody and not just dependent care. So that's my advice. It's not a thing to have to end your relationship with these people. It is what it is. That's all that it is. And make your necessary adjustments if you want to. You don't even have to. You could stay the same and have this relationship one-sided if it behooves you. That's cool too. But for me, it's not. And I'll make the necessary adjustments and expound our circle. And, my family needs to be booked and busy too. My kids are older, so I'm going to do what I need to do to keep us booked and busy. All right. Bye, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.